Started cough is worrying me. Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful edition of Conversation with the Love Crusader. We are live again with your Sunday tonic and with a very powerful and interesting topic. Of course, if you have been following us since the beginning of the month, we are still talking about domestic abuse. We had a very engaging session last week with our legal people coming here to tell us about the legal frameworks around domestic abuse. And in the first week, we talked about some of the definitions, the types, we talked about the causes, we've talked about signs and symptoms. And today we are going to do like a recap, what I call a recap and a summary of this topic. It might be the last Sunday that we'll talk about it for now, but it's not a topic that is going away anytime soon because this is a very vital topic, not only in the society where we are, but a very vital topic to my heart as a person. And so it's a matter that is very crucial to my calling, to the reason why I do what I do. I strongly believe in the fact that knowledge is necessary and knowledge is important. So please let me engage you and plead with you to once again share, subscribe, tell your friends about this channel. You might be saving someone. Information here might be saving someone. You don't know who you would save. All right, I will jump into introducing my guest today. I have Solomon and Eucharia Amaize in the house, and I have a special bond with this couple. Let me tell you. Number one, we shared the same marriage anniversary. Solomon decided to marry on my wedding date. And as if that was not enough, he had his first child on my birthday.
Wow. So
can you beat that kind of connection? So we are spiritually connected. This one is not, whether we like it or not, we are connected. Even if I want to forget them, when I remember my birthday, I remember Marvelous. It's not possible to forget. And when I'm celebrating the anniversary, they're celebrating the anniversary. They might be miles away, but they are very dear to my heart. Welcome to the platform, Solomon and Eucharia. Welcome. Want to say hello to our guest?
Thank you very much.
Bro Solomon, say hello to our guest.
Hello, everyone. My name is Solomon Amaize, as she has said, the anchor. I'm pleased to be here.
You're welcome.
And this is my beautiful wife, Eucharia Amaize.
Yes, we know she's beautiful. We know she's beautiful. I was there when he got the beautiful wife. And that's why he's now having beautiful children, very beautiful children. Yes. Glory to God. Glory to God. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm very happy that you're here. Sister Amaize has been a follower of Mend Fences from day one. She is a faithful follower. That I give to her, and I love you for it.
Love you too.
She's one of our best supporters as far as Mend Fences is concerned. And so I've been looking forward to having her on this platform. All right. Let's try to do some justice this evening to the matter at hand. I know that you have been following the conversation before now. But as it is with our tradition, the first thing to do would be to tell us your definition of love. So when you come to this platform, because I am the Love Crusader and our conversation stems from love. Love is our foundation. Love is our reason. Love is our background. Love is why we're doing what we're doing. You have to talk about love first. So we'll go with the head, not ladies first this time, the head first. Bro Solomon, your definition of love.
Okay, my definition of love. Love is a very compound word.
Okay.
It doesn't have a single definition. It's very complex. So I try to differentiate different types of love. You can't just say love is love. theoretically and direct. You have something like agape love, you have eros, and you have that attraction love, that sexual love. So there are different types of love. So there's a way a father loves his child, just the way Christ loves us. That one is another aspect of love. And there's a love that spouses share. So and there's a love for general humanity.
Yeah.
So you try to go around it. Some people try to define it. Maybe some of these musicians, they'll say love is white, or maybe love is black because your color is black. So I see it in you, something like that. They try to give love a shape or a color or an appearance because it cannot be seen only by its action or somehow. So to cap it up, when you say you love someone, as in spouses kind of love, is someone that you adore, someone that you cherish, someone that you don't keep the hurts off. You don't try to revenge. You try to forgive easily. You don't try to count their offenses against them. So those are the type of things I can use to define this kind of love we are talking about here. So thank you very much.
Bro Solomon is not talking like a lecturer. Hey. Imagine the analogy, Andy. In fact, I don't know whether I've defined love like this. So
I'm a good student.
This is very, very deep. This is very, very deep. God bless you. I really love that. Okay, Sister UK, it's your turn. Your definition of love.
He has almost said it all.
My husband said it all.
Yeah, that's why I said almost. I think just about 0.8% left of what of what love is. Love is an affection. Love is a feeling. Love is an emotional. Love can also be spiritual. Love can be physical. To say you love is to hold someone in a high esteem, to adore. When you say you love someone, you will safeguard, you will cherish. To love someone is to protect, to preserve. To love someone or to love someone is to be forgiven. My husband said that. To love someone is to share. So love is all encompassing.
Okay. All right. I don't have anything to add to that.
No, let's say that.
You people have finished it all. You have capped it. You have arranged it. You have finished it. Love is all that you have said, and so much more. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is, so love is all these things, and love is beautiful. Love is something that everyone desires. So where do negative things like domestic abuse come from? Where do they come from?
I go first. Okay, can I hit it?
Go on.
Okay. Before I go ahead, I would like to define what domestic abuse is. I would like to say one or two things about domestic abuse.
Go on.
So domestic abuse, also called domestic violence or intimate partner violence, it can be defined as a pattern of behavior in any relationship when a partner is trying to use any behavior or character to gain control over the other. It might be what they say, it might be what they don't do, or what they do. Just that they want you to be under their spell or under their charm or whatever, or under their control. They want you to sit where they want. They've asked you to sit. They don't want you to react, to air your own your own view about something or a subject matter. So someone can shout at you, "Hey, get out of that place." That's an act of domestic violence. So the person will be scared, and the person will not likely say what is in his or her own mind. It can be from the man or from the woman. So domestic violence, it can also be emotional. Like when a wife wants the husband to do something and can deny him sex or something, it's also a part of abuse or violence. That
Okay, I
a
like
man
that
can hit,
example. Continue.
it can be that a man can hit his wife or give her a dirty slap or spank her to make her to do something that he wants her to do. I'm not saying my wife is doing that, and I'm not doing that
Of course.
actually from good aspects. So, but just try to give it a definition. So your question is where they come from. Where we define love and you say so many things about love. So your own question is where does domestic violence, where does it come from? When love is this and that and this and that. So um when we are young, talking of these bachelors and spinsters, they are mostly moved by this other love. They don't wait for the other type of love to manifest. They are moved by this bodily love, and it's also called lust or something, and they rush it. And at the end of the day, they now discover that this is not what I want. Then they'll now start using the domestic abuse or violence to either to chase the person away. You see somebody beating a 9 months old pregnant woman, or 3 months kicking her stomach. Some the child will die, some will threaten to throw them off the stairs. I don't know those kind of people. I don't know how to classify that. So, but it actually creeps in when that foundation of love is not there. That godly type of love. That is the one that withstand every kind of pressure. That godly type of love. If it is not present, domestic abuse it tends to come in. It tends to creep in when that type of love is not there to check. So there will be a time we have experienced it when, oh, let her go, let me go, let's go our separate ways. But it's when that godly type of love is there that corrects your mindset and not make you act out of emotion and 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 do what pleases the devil. So before you act, you ask yourself, who will be happy at the end of the day? That's what I learned from your dad, Dr. Bishop Napoleon Obayoji. Who will be happy at the end of the day? Who will be happy when I carry out this action? So when they don't wait for that type of love to manifest, they now rush it, and they are now seeing that this is not the person I want. Some of them use domestic violence to try to scare the person away. It's just a crack in the wall that the devil used to disfigure marriages and relationship. I know when a home is set, when a home is standard, the economy, the world at large will be standard. But when there's a break in the home and when there's a violence in the home, it will extend and spoil the whole world, which is the which is the intent of the devil through domestic violence to scatter the home and make a home not to be what it's supposed to be. I don't want to talk too much.
Sorry, let me preach it.
Please. You see also, I'm so enjoying the I'm so enjoying the talking. I don't even want to interrupt you because, man, I think I'm seeing a different side of you today. Oh, Sister UK, I know. But you, hey, Jesus is Lord forever. Hey, this is powerful. It should be a counselor now. We should draft him into premarital counseling for the church. I mean, this is powerful. Please talk too much, talk plenty, talk as you like. That is not here. It's a conversation, and I'm already enjoying it. Amen. Okay, so it says the foundation is the problem. That's what I picked from what you've said now. When the foundation is wrong. And even the Bible says it that if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? Hey, Sister UK, you agree with your husband that it's a foundational problem? Tell me your own.
I agree with him, and I will also add one or two things. If there was love, love is so beautiful. Then where does this domestic violence occur? Why? How does it creep in when love? Because I don't think two people go into marriage if there is not an atom of likeness or love. So I feel personally that from what my husband still said, that when people cannot handle their emotions, they don't put their emotions in check. We are born from different parents. We all grew up in different environments. The dating period, the courtship period is not the marriage itself. It is when the couple gets home after all the fun of the wedding reception and everything, the honeymoon is over, reality sets in. And when the reality sets in, when we're dating, one thing is that people can hide their character. People can hide many things, yes. Until, even if for those people that they say, but we're dating or we're cutting, but I was visiting him or I was visiting her. 1 week, few days visiting, is staying together a few days or 1 week, or 2 weeks, as the case may be, for those that would have said they have known themselves. It's still not enough for husband and wife that are now in the same roof, sharing the same house. They meet people when they go out, but when they come back in, it is the two of them that will not be in the house. And so the reality sets, I never, how come? Sometimes they will ask themselves the question, how come I didn't see this? How come I didn't see this? Or how come I didn't see that? And so when the expectation is not met, when the expectation is not actualized or fulfilled, what a minute thing, as minute as squeezing toothpaste from the center, as minute as that, can bring a basketball slap. You understand? Why did you don't you know from the bottom we squeeze toothpaste from? Why do you have to say your mother did not teach you where bars goes? Irritation sets in. I think I'll stop for now.
Okay. Good one. Thank you so much. So unmet expectations.
Yes,
and on this platform, we've talked about expectations before, because sometimes they will say where there's no expectation, there's no disappointment.
Yes.
But on this platform, we're able to establish that love has some expectations that go with it. Just as you were describing love, if you say you love someone, then it's expected that you will do this, which is what you will respect this person, you will protect this person. Those are expectations that come with love. So before somebody begins to claim, oh, I love you, you love me, then the person must understand those expectations. So now when some of these expectations are not met, frustration sets in. I agree. Yes. When there are foundational issues, maybe lies, like you said, some people can pretend and not, they don't show who they really are. And then when we get home, according to one pastor, after auntie removes gown and uncle removes suit, they will not see you two people that just said I do. Then sometimes people begin to want to undo what they have said they will do anyway. So yes, I agree. Those are some of the issues. Now, let's talk about one thing, because Bro Solomon was talking and he said that if there's no love, that foundational love of God from the beginning, how about people who are not Christians? They've never been Christians. They married, they are unbelievers, but they've never had those kind of situations. What's the secret? Because we might not say they have the God kind of love, because maybe they are not born again and they are not Christians. but they're able to keep it together. They're able to not to have maybe a limit. I don't know how to explain it, because whether we like it or not, in marriage there will be issues. Just as Sister UK was trying to explain now, something as small as toothpaste, something as small as not dropping toilet seat, just win on the toilet seat. Okay, me, I'm talking the one that irritates me. That irritates me with a man. Don't win on my toilet seat. It irritates me. Anyways, something as small as that can become an irritation, a point of irritation. Especially if it's something that maybe you have been telling your partner, I don't like this, and don't like this, and they're still doing it. So maybe irritations can set in. Now, we talk about the love of God controlling us, but these people who we see as maybe unbelievers, they don't have this love of God in quotes, yet they are able to. So what do they do? What's the secret?
Okay. Some people does not know God. We have different types of religions. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have traditional worshippers. I'm talking of here in Nigeria.
Yes.
Other places, some people take some people take cow as their gods.
Yeah.
Some people worship snake and all that. But there's something that is always constant. Our God is the head of all principalities and all powers. And every other form of worship or every other form of religion appreciates and recognizes one person upstairs. And he said in a promise that he's going to write his laws in our hearts. So that thing that is called conscience, some people are moralists. There's a difference between us and them. Some people, they will never do anything wrong. They will never hurt you. They will never, they live by the golden rule. They don't do to you what hurts them. They are always like that. But there's a difference between, I'm going to go back to that, but there's a difference between, there's a reward when you do something in the Bible, what the Bible says. There's a reward for the Christian. But those ones that are moralists, they don't do it for any reward because they've not accepted Christ. They have their own form of worship. Some worship cow, some worship snake. So they do things that are moral. Like now for this love thing, we know that there's Bollywood, and all the acts, most of the acting they do is about love. All those love and all that. So those ones that don't know God, but they know love, because God is love. So once you recognize God, you must have that love. Once there is God, you must have that love.
Fantastic
So those
response.
the ones that are Christians that know God, they know the golden rule. God did not tell the man to submit to the woman. Although there's a place that said we should submit one to one another. But love, God told the man to love the woman. But God did not tell the woman to love the man. God did not tell the woman to love the man, and God did not tell the man to submit to the woman. But there's a caption there in the vision that said, submit yourself to one another. Submit yourself one to another. So, but the Bible said, husband, love your wives. Wife, submit to your husband in all things. Husband is not a woman can be a president, but a woman cannot be a husband. Although with the way things are moving now, some women are more power than men, but that doesn't mean you are the husband. You can be the breadwinner, you can be providing, but the authority of that husbandship is for the man. It's for the man. Although if you're a man, your wife is paying bills, you go soji. You don't want 1 or 2 things to cut that. You rearrange your.
You see, I like that you are mentioning this because back where we are in Nigeria, I'll come to you, Sister Eukaria, but back where we are, where you are in Nigeria, a lot of conversations go on with this submission. And in one of my research, it is said that it is one of the basis for domestic abuse in Nigeria, the prevalence of domestic abuse in Nigeria, because there's this male male kind of domination and patriarchal kind of behavior that makes people say, okay, the man is the head, the woman should submit. And so it becomes more of a servant-master relationship, not the love kind of relationship. Because last Sunday, my pastor here was teaching us about Ephesians 5 and talking about this submission and the man being the head. And he was saying to us that for a man to be a head is responsibility. It's responsibility that makes you a head as a man. Because if you go down further, it tells you, as Christ loved the church. And how did Christ love the church? He gave himself for it. He sacrificed for it. It is not by lording over us that he won us. He won us by loving us and paying the highest form of sacrifice. And that this is what God means when he's saying you are the head, meaning that you have to make the sacrifice in the relationship. Well, they don't preach it that way back home. And some men don't understand it that way. I think to an extent there's a misconstruction of submission in some areas, but let's not delve into it because it's going to be too deep. However, I agree with one thing that you have said.
Okay, let me hold on.
And that is the fact that anyone who knows love knows God.
Because God is love.
Who truly loves. Yes, God is love. There is nobody, whether they are Buddhist, whether they are Islamic, whether they are whatever kind of, whatever they believe, no one has the capacity to truly and genuinely love without God.
That's all.
I'm telling
you. To be seen will be contrary.
Yes, because God, love is hard. Love on its own is hard without God. So to be able to truly and genuinely love, so for this, we cannot say it's because they are not Christians or they don't love. The truth is, anyone who truly loves will not hurt the other. Yes. And that is why I fantastically love your response. We cannot say, oh, they are without the love of God. They actually love.
Yes. There's one more
thing they have God.
Yes.
Yes, and that conscience is there in them, that is in every human being, whether this person is speaking in tongues or not. That is God. That is God present in you. The issue now is we have some people who numb their conscience.
Bible says, seared with hot iron.
They numb this conscience. You get it?
Yes.
So they are able to now do things that go against their conscience and against love. All right.
Now, there are a lot of factors to that. There are a lot of factors to that. Even if you don't believe they exist, even over there, Nigeria, they do just pass. Over there, UK, abroad. If you see that Polish shrine, strong blood, everything. So the devil takes up some of their consciences. Some of them, he takes it off. They said they will take the God-given heart and put a heart of stone. We will replace it with a heart of stone. So, and they will tell you that when you keep doing wickedness, that's when you keep getting money. So they'll tell you, kick your wife in the stomach. When the child dies in the stomach, we'll give you one more crown. All those kind of things. That's when you see some of them are not just physical like that. But for that domestic, a man can handle, can absorb emotional torture. You know, this abuse you are talking of domestic violence, men use at times men use their fists, or at times women use their mouth to do this kind of things.
You are coming to the question I want to ask Sister Eukarya now. Don't jump the gun. Wait for me, Bro Solomon. Wait. So, Sister Eukarya,
let me go back. Let me reverse. There was something you said. You were talking about that is not being taught here, about dying the way Christ loved the church, and men should love their wife like that. So, we know the way Christ loved the church. We know how many times he died. As he was fasting 40 days, he was dying. As he was taking those leaps, he was dying. That one was just him that left.
Yes.
Because on that process, if you are cutting the tree, as that first one cuts, you have killed the tree.
Already.
But depends on how consistent you are. That's when this tree won't die. So some men love their wives and their family the way Christ loved the church. But it's not until he carries knife to just cut his throat, you now know, okay, I'm dying for my family. A man that goes out and walk and face and receive all the cold in the night to work, takes various kind of risks just for the family, they are dying. A man that the boss shouts at, get out of this place, or insult or humiliate in the office, they are dying. They are dying because there's no how you that man will not think about that. It's not until
I totally agree with you, Bro Solomon. The point I was trying to make is in saying that being the head is not about just being
no,
or being the boss.
That one is domestic violence.
That's the point I was trying to make. But I totally agree with you that there are a lot of men who are out there truthfully sacrificing, truthfully living the life that a father, a husband, a provider, a lover should live. And for those men, they are God's perfect example here on earth, you know, of the kind of love that, you know, that God expects. So, and this is what I always say to men when I come close to you. You are God. You are the God that your wife, your children will see. You are the example of God here on earth. Yes, that's the truth. I know it's a tall order, but it is the truth. If as a man, you know you can't live up to that, don't even get married, don't even start having children, no need to go into all of that, because the truth is you are meant to be the God that these children will see, the God that this woman will see. And that's why a lot of women, sometimes they lose their faith in God because of what they go through in marriage. Okay, let's not go into that area anymore. Let's come back home. What is UK to answer one question for me, and that is the question of how women provoke domestic abuse. Many times we hear it, and I know that domestic abuse is not a gender thing. We established that last week, meaning that it's not happening to only one person. It's not only the women who suffer it, the men are suffering. In fact, these days, in this our generation, where we are having women who are becoming more exposed, we have a lot of women who are actually abusing their husbands and abusing their partners. However, because statistically it is still higher with the women, in the sense that women get more killed. Okay, for example, I'll give you the statistic in Nigeria. Man to woman violence, that's violence against women in Nigeria, is 89% of women who have suffered it, in versus 28% of men. So you see this disparity. Yeah. So that is why it looks like most times when we talk about it, we emphasize more about women. However, in talking about this, most men come up to say it is because of the way these women talk, or because of the way the women behave. You know, women were very emotional. Maybe we talk too much, so the man's mouth cannot catch our mouth, so we have to now use his hand. In fact, I was watching a video where a pastor, a so-called pastor, because I don't like to give those kind of people the title, I was very, very upset with that video, was justifying the fact that, yes, if the woman is misbehaving, the man can beat her. In fact, some women need to be beaten. And I commented under that video. I say, I pray for you that God will give your daughters men that will discipline them, because the man says discipline. That was my prayer. That was my comment under the video. I say, I pray for you, sir, that God will give your daughters men that will discipline them. Abi, since you, their father, could not discipline them, and you can come out now to boldly say that women needs to be disciplined. What is your take on it? Is it really a thing of women are actually provoking men? Let's talk about it. Yes, Sister UK. I want Sister UK to answer as a woman.
I strongly disagree with that so-called pastor.
Good.
That is a no. That is a message from pit of hell. It is not true. No, people sometimes they just want, they are doing something, but they are looking for somebody that will give a name that we,
to justify what they are doing.
Their actions. Okay, let's assume the women are provoking it. A woman is provoking. Let's assume. Let me just go on the women now. Okay, is there no other methods? Don't we have other alternatives? Are there no other thing you can do apart from going violent? Must you raise your hand? Must you push the woman? I had a, like you said, like I had a true life story of a family friend. She was pregnant, and the man pushed her from the balcony upstairs, first story building. God saved her that she did not lose that baby. So what is it? That she is her mouth. So she provoked you to anger, her mouth. She did not respect you enough, her mouth. Was that the next alternative? Was that the next option? We always have many options in life. Even the Bible says, I give you, choose life, you will live, or you choose death. There's always a better alternative. Yes, she provoked you with her lips. What made you to, what has stopped you from going out of the house? Sit outside, go somewhere under the mango tree. If you cannot go out, if you can't go far, cool down, come back later. Must it now be that you have to now slap that woman? Or I have a case of a friend of mine that will finish from the same university. She's out of the marriage now, she's divorced. She was pregnant. This man was using what they call it, pistol for pounding yam to beat mercilessly. Yeah. She was pregnant with the second child. She had a boy, she was pregnant, gave birth to a girl. But as she just gave birth to that child, she left the home. They were separated. From there, she said, no, she can't go back. If a man that can beat her with pistol, why she was even pregnant? No, the most painful thing sometimes, when a woman is now pregnant, the first one, you pushed her out of the balcony. Thank God it was first story building, and God saved her life. And she did not lose the baby, she did not die. The other one, now, he used a pistol. I don't think domestic violence can be justified. I don't think it can be justified. Let that woman, let it be that it was the woman that was at fault. What better alternative would you have taken that would have stopped you from removing her eyes, that would have stopped you from killing her? Then you choose it. Then later people will now say, oh, this woman. Then later it will not be, people will not be on your side if you would have done the right thing, taking a better option than going violent. So I don't think anything is justifiable.
Okay.
No,
our listeners, that is the debate question for today.
I don't like domestic violence.
Tell us your take, give us your response.
It's so painful.
Your own comment.
I don't like it.
Tell us, do you think
I've had people close to me that were abused, and domestic violence is something that I don't just like. I don't want to hear the reason. I'm a very strong feminist. I don't like it.
You have brought another leg now. Which one is feminist? They will say.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not supporting a woman for misbehaving if in court the woman was misbehaving. But what options would you have taken that would have prevented that woman from that?
Let me help you for that, Sister UK. This is what I said last week, and this is what really this is what bothers me about it. You see, these same men who say this woman, oh, the woman talks too much, the woman abused me, the woman insulted me. These same men get insulted every day outside. Like what someone was trying to say now. Some of them have very, very crazy bosses out there.
Yes.
Their bosses are even women who talk to them anyhow. But you don't hear that they slap these women in the office. You don't hear that they are on the street fighting the man who insulted them. But when they come home, they become bulldogs and lions. Why? All right. Bro Solomon, as a man, might be able to help us. Why?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, I agree with you that a lady deserves to be flogged as in like 30 times a day. A lady. But any man that flogs a lady, they need to cut off one of his hands.
Hey.
Okay. Oh. Let me repeat it. A woman needs to be flogged like 30 times every day. But any man that flogs that lady once, they need to cut off one of his fingers, one of his hands. So these people that call themselves feminists, as in, I don't understand where it is coming from. They're using that to tell God that you know what he's doing. People that call themselves feminists, I don't know where. I think that the word feminist is from the pit of hell. To me,
Yes,
use that to destroy so many homes. Some people go on internet, they'll say, I don't take this, I don't take that. Look at Toto, you can look at all of them. Tomorrow, you will see them in a relationship. You will see them getting married. Some women will now say, they will be advising women on media. Women will be taking their advice and be scattering their homes, and these people are not doing what they are asking them to do.
Solomon, wait. Before you continue, Bro Solomon, hold on, give me 1 second. I'll come back. Hold on. Let me just correct one thing. Let me correct one thing before we come back to you. Right? Being a feminist is not about being rude. Being a feminist is not about being disrespectful. All of those people that you are giving as example now, they are not feminists. They are just rude and disrespectful people. And they are hiding under the cloak of feminism. Feminism means that protect the right of women. I agree that women... Hold on.
What is the opposite of...
Let me finish, sir. I agree that women as weaker vessels deserve a place in the world. They should be given... Never don't do that something. They should be given opportunities to rise, opportunities to grow, opportunities to showcase who God has created them to be. That is the meaning of feminism, actually. But some people hide under it to come and start talking rubbish and talking, from what will I call it? From their rude character and their dirty character. They hide under it to expose their dirty character. So continue now that I've said that.
Okay. So the opposite of feminism, is it masculinity or what? What's the opposite of feminism?
Like a man is already a man. A man is already secured in his world. He doesn't need anyone to fight for him.
Wait. You made mention of something. You said there are some men that have been abused. Right? Yes. So what those men that have been abused, what do you call them?
They are still men.
What do we call them? Because no. With the women now that have been abused, they said they are protecting the right of a woman. So those men now that are being abused, what should they call them? Which umbrella do we put them?
Their rights will still be protected. The laws that protect a woman from abuse protect a man. Or am I not getting your question?
Yeah, no, you're not answering my question.
Okay, I'm not getting the question.
I said, okay, let me ask the question again.
Yes.
Let me ask the question again.
Yeah.
There are women that call themselves feminists because they try to protect the right of a woman. Because if you are trying to protect your right, that means your right is being abused.
Of course.
If you are trying to protect your right. So they call them feminists. What of those men that are trying to protect their rights or the women abuse? What do we call them?
No name.
Okay. I don't know whether there's a name for them. I don't know whether there's a name.
So that's why I'm skeptical about that something called feminism, because there are men that absolve. People have different threshold. Some people can, because that's how God shared his gift. He gave some 1, he gave some 3, he gave some 5. There's some people that can absorb abuse for 10 years. Some men can hold it 15 years. The next thing na backhand. The next thing that most of the domestic violence is a reaction of what some of the men have been trying to hold. That's why you see that outburst.
So are you not saying that women actually
support it? What I said before, I said women, they deserve to be flogged every 30 times a day. But men that do that flogging, they need to cut off one of his finger
Or the whole hand.
or the whole hand. Am I trying to
So,
say?
okay, so I get what you're saying. You're trying to say that yes, women can actually provoke this thing, but it doesn't mean that you have to take that
Yes,
action.
exactly.
Now I get
And it's something like
so you are
so,
agreeing with Sister Eukarya because Sister Eukarya said there should be other ways to deal with the matter.
all I'm trying to say, no, I'm not agree with her totally.
Okay.
You woman is doing that. Why don't you use other ways?
Okay.
Why don't you use other ways to pass your message? Why must you make him angry? Because now some men, we deserve to, we can take anything outside, but when we come to our home, we deserve to be treated as a king.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about women who don't even provoke it. Osinachi Nwachukwu was buried yesterday. And many people say, oh, we keep talking about her. Yes, we cannot no longer talk about domestic abuse as far as Nigeria is concerned without Osinachi. She has become an icon as far as domestic abuse is concerned. Now, the testimony of that woman's life, at least from everybody we have heard, have shown that she was a submissive woman, submissive to the core, to the point where even her money was controlled by this man. He determined where she will go, what she will wear, who she will see.
Sometimes she begs people for transport in church.
Yes, to go home. Because her husband would leave her. He will leave her in church. They will come to church together. He will leave her. She has no transport. She will beg for money. Somebody who was such a star, going up and down with such a talent. What do you say about
those are all called?
You say this was
those ones are what called domestic violence. Now, let me give you an example. When you travel to Benin, we all know how Benin is. You go see 20 landlady and 5 landlords. Where are all the men?
Okay, I don't know where they are because I don't know about that. Tell me. Tell me.
From what we've been saying, from the way, in Nigeria, or let us take it a statistic from some data. You see that most men, they die and leave their wives and their children behind. Most times. Sometimes it might be from the man's behavior when you are there, because there were some men. As okay, this one is even the both families. They have kids. They will say, "Oh, Daddy, we need wanted to come around." I say, "Oh, it's money you need." They'll send the man money. He will send the kids money. I think it's from the man and the woman like that. So when he gets to the time that he has retired, he's not going anywhere. He will call the children. He say, "Oh, Daddy, it's money you need." They'll send him money. So those are the way those are the kind of way the man behaved, and sometimes the children try to play the other side of it, or the man, to feel what they experienced. Then on the other hand of those men that inflict all those kind of injuries, untold hardship on their wives that they're supposed to love. The Bible said any man that beats his wife is beaten. It said, can you start beating yourself like this no matter what you do? Can you start beating yourself? So those ones that beat their wives or their wives, they're like beating themselves. They are going against the rules. So some people belong to different kind of clubs or school of thought. Some people believe that when you are soft to the woman will disrespect you, which is very wrong. Then some people belong to different secret cults. That is no matter how we try to downplay it, it's not only here. There's Illuminati over there. Now they'll not tell you, give you conditions. Your wife is pregnant, you want that child in the stomach. Make sure you kill her. Make sure you beat her until the child in the stomach die. They will not say they will not generalize it that men are abusing their wives. While some men have put their hand in some things they are not supposed to do. Likewise, some women too. There are some women too that belong and their man that does not belong. Then they will not try to control the man. They will try to use. No matter how women like control, women like to be in charge, and men also will say, "I'm a man, I'm supposed to be in charge." Let me give you an example. Like me in my family, my sister is older than me. then I'm the first boy. When they talk, I'll say you are a woman. She will tell me she's the first child. We'll have that kind of argument, supremacy. So most times, those kind of things that causes violence and abuse in the home. So I ask God to give me. I expressed it. We'll be fighting. I'll say I'm the man in the house.
Okay.
She was the first child.
All right. If we continue with our examples and talking about how these things happen, our time is not going to be enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not always good when we analyze issues without solutions. So, way forward. What are some of the solutions that you can proffer to somebody who is listening there? I know that last week we talked about the legal situations and the legal solutions, but maybe this person don't really want to go legal. They don't want to go to the police. They don't want to arrest anybody. They don't want to. Not everybody has the mind to take the other person that they say they love before the law court. What can they do?
Okay. So the solutions we are preferring is vice versa. We are preferring solution to the men that are being abused.
Yeah, to everybody, yes, both men and women. What solutions will you prefer for domestic abuse?
But sometimes the solution you prefer for the men might not go well with the women, and the one for the women might not go well with the man. Like my wife was saying, she said that why not walk out of the house? Why not go far and come back? At times it works, but sometimes the man will try to walk out. Some women will go and jack, like one of the former head of states, now military head of state too. The whole world was waiting for him to come and address them. While right inside the house, the woman has hijacked the man like this. As in, he has squeezed the baba the guy and used 50
Let me also give you an example so that when you are talking, you can balance both sides. And this was from a conversation I was having even with someone yesterday, a couple, or someone who was talking to me about her marriage and problems. And she was like, I don't know whether I should keep quiet. So, when they say, the man is talking, the man is angry, as he's talking, you two should not be talking, you should keep quiet. And I said, look, I know somebody who the husband beat her because she kept quiet. So this lady was told, the man says because of the way you used to respond, what you used to say that used to make him angry, you to learn to shut your mouth now. So the next time the man was angry, the man was shouting, sister kept quiet and even wanted to walk away from the scene. And then the man said that was rude. You want to walk out on me? I'm talking to you, you're keeping quiet. That is rudeness. Which one will this sister do? She talk, he said the talk is provoking. She no talk, he says rudeness. So I want us to be very practical about solutions for people.
This solution now you are talking of. Yes. There was a woman that the man used to beat constantly. So he now went to the baba that I need something. The baba now gave him roasted corn. That anytime your husband is talking, just be chewing it.
I know that story, yes.
So, but you cannot really say you want to use that as a solution. It might work, but if the man has an intention to hurt you, no matter what you do, if you like stay here or here, you still do that intention. That man that do that, he has already made up his mind that when I go, I'll do this. So no matter the response she gives, it doesn't work. So for that advert, for that talk that you say that one worked because she kept her mouth shut. That one worked because maybe the man doesn't have an intention to hurt her. So solutions now is just to strike a balance. The man should adjust. The woman should adjust. If you know this thing is going to hurt this person, don't do it. Let us live by the golden rule. That is the golden rule. If you know that if they chook pin your eye, if they use pin to prick your eye, you're going to feel hot. Don't use that same pin to prick someone else's eye, because it's sometimes infinitesimal might be conspicuous for someone else. So in this place, from this background, people like such kind of things. From this other background, they don't like it. Let me give an example. In those olden days, the people in Benue State, when someone comes to visit them, they give their wife to the person as cola. While in some places, it's an abomination. If you try it, everybody will start dying. So these solutions, the person that you are living with, everybody knows who they are living with. We should try to adjust.
Strike a balance.
And
put yourself in such person's shoes.
Yes, you live by the golden rule. If I'm being treated like this, will I be happy or will I be sad? If the answer is yes, or you act the other way. Sometimes mistakes have been done. Like now, I was trying to iron my wife's clothes. She now said, "Don't burn my clothes." I said, "I'll burn it." Do you know I burnt that clothes mistakenly? And it was hell. It was wahala.
I hope you replace it.
Yeah, she knows now. I don't. So, as I was saying, so we have to do what pleases the other person. If you know that this will hurt me or will hurt someone else, don't do it. There are those ones that have been done by mistake. We should try to avoid those ones that have been done mistakenly. Then we should be is it purposeful?
Intentional.
We should be intentional. Thank you for that word there. So that was the word I was looking for. We should be intentional in everything we're trying to do. This thing hurt this person, with this really not hurt, and let's try to forgive very fast, easily, quickly. Let's not hold hurts. It's those holding of hurts that brings about violence. It's those holding of hurts that bring about domestic violence, either from the man or for the woman side. If you forgive freely or fastly or easily, there will be no room for that violence to occur. And we should always put God first in everything we do.
All right, Sister Eukarya, solutions. You have addition. Your husband has said a lot.
He has said a lot. Solution. One of those things that what I said just now is that we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional in our relationship. We have to be intentional. If this is being done to me, will I like it? And it is what we cherish or what we value that we protect or we preserve. Except you don't cherish or value that your relationship. But if it is something you value, you want to keep, then you should go out of your way to make sure that you put yourself in the other person's shoe and say, this thing I'm about to do, will it profit him? Will it profit her? Or will it bring sadness or tears or sorrow? So when we're intentional in our relationship, I think domestic violence, the issues and all of them will be minimized, if not completely eradicated. If Osinachi's husband was intentional, this thing I'm doing to this woman, if another person do it to me, another man do it to me, will I like it? Will I love it? Will I clap for the person? If the answer to such is no, then we will retrace our footsteps, we will adjust, and our marriage will be more fruitful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you so much. Despite the NEPA doing what they know how to do best in Nigeria, you still are able to go on. God bless you. Thank you. I truly appreciate your time and your sacrifice and being here. And I've had a very, very interesting conversation. When the conversation is interesting, I don't know how 1 hour used to finish. No. 1 hour is finished. This is my conversation. I don't know I'm going to do it. Whether I should just turn it to 3 hours because the time is never. It's just.
Let's start with 1 hour, 30 minutes. From there, you go.
Okay, now let's see how it goes. Thank you so much. We've learned a lot.
Thank you very much.
This amazing.
We love you. We're happy.
I'm not calling them now amazing amazes. I like that name. They have shared a lot with us today, talking about violence, problems that trigger it, issues that come up, and what can be done. What can be done to, okay, you don't want to go the legal way, or maybe it's not that bad yet. I remember that one time a lady went to report the husband at one of the agencies, and then the the lawyer or the counselor there said, "Oh, madam, sit down. Your own it's not bad yet," and then open files for her. See, people who have lost their ears, people who have been named, things that have been going on. So yours is still redeemable. So on this platform, we are not here to preach divorce. It's not a platform that is here to preach separation. Like some people would think, okay, some people think I've backslided already. Like I said last week, I really don't care. I'm sorry. Apologies to anyone who feel offended. I don't care. As many as God has helped me to save or will help me to save, I will do what it takes to save as many as I can. Of course, I can't save everyone, because I have come to understand that knowledge is important, and what you know is what saves you. What you don't know is what you are afraid of. What you don't know is what is more than you. And that is why we must share this knowledge. A lot of us have a lot in us that God has put in us that can help another person. Here are a few tips that has been given to us today by the Amazes. You are still in that situation. You know it's not terrible yet. One, you can walk away during a hostile conversation if it is possible. I used to know a lady who used to hide keys. She had hide her spare key just by the door because she knows she has this man who is easily provoked and easily angered, or who has an anger issue. And so when the man gets really, really hostile, she picks her key quickly and she dashes out. She's able to run and leave quickly. It's a survival mechanism. And then she avoids slap by doing that. By the time she comes back, the man is calm and maybe they can have a conversation. 2, live by the golden rule. What? And this golden rule is my life's rule. Like I always say, if you have ever received an email from me, that's my signature on my email. Whatever you wish that men do to you, do so also to them. If you are not going to be able to eat that food, don't dish it to someone else. Don't serve someone what you cannot take. If we can only just live by this rule, I think the world will, not even just our relationship, the world generally will be a much better place. Study what triggers the hostility in your relationship. What triggers the man? Is it your talking to? Keep quiet. If it's your keeping quiet, please talk. Because there's no blanket solution to some of these things. We have to be very sincere. If you know that the man likes you to talk, please talk. If he doesn't like you to talk, please shut up. Whichever one works, but study what it is that triggers the hostility in your relationship. They also told us that we should be intentional. Be intentional in your love to yourselves. Work out ways to make the other person happy in the relationship. If the man is trying to make the woman happy and the woman is trying to make the man happy, where would the evil like domestic violence come in from? You know, the Bible says we should outdo one another in loving each other. But when it is one way, only one person making the sacrifice, only one person trying to do, only one person doing, not speaking, no, because we have a lot of people who talk, but they don't do. In the doing is actually where the love is. That was Brother Solomon's definition of love for us today. It's in the doing that we can see your love. It's in your action that we can see your love. So do what you know will make the other person happy, and let the other person do what makes the other one happy. They say we should forgive quickly. I've always told people that the reason for divorce is unforgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that thing that your partner did that made you leave. It's your inability to forgive. And the inability to forgive sometimes comes from when you have forgiven the same thing over time. I'm just being very practical. Sometimes some people get tired of you're repeating the same thing, you're doing the same thing, you're saying sorry, they forgive you, you repeat it, say sorry, just like we were saying earlier on, you are taking this person's love and this person's forgiveness for granted. They might not decide, well, it's enough is enough, I can't go any further. However, expect that in marriage and in relationships, there will be offenses. You will offend me and I'll offend you, so we should always forgive ahead of time. Forgive before you are offended. And this is my addition. My addition to the conclusion today. Okay, Sister Eukaria still said you should protect what you cherish. If you love the person, protect them. My own addition is, please speak out. Speak out. Gone are the days when they used to say, oh, don't take your marriage problem to people. Don't take it to a third party. No, what we are saying now is take it to the right people. There are people that God has placed wisdom and resources in them. Counselors, therapists, anyways, some pastors, because I'm generally beginning to feel somehow about some pastors and their counsels. But anyways, there are some pastors that I still trust who have the true wisdom of God to give good counsel. But please, please don't die in silence. Love is a beautiful thing. Love was created by God for us to enjoy ourselves. If in your relationship, what you're seeing is different from the definition of love that we have given today, please speak out and find help. Thank you so much for coming again, Bro Solomon and Sister Eukaria. I truly, truly appreciate your time. God bless you. And thank you to everyone who has joined us. Seasoned Women was here. She was online earlier on. She was one of our speakers this month of domestic abuse. That Season Grace. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to the Prof. I always see Prof coming in every month, every Sunday. That's Professor Ben. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to every one of you, my friend Onyinyechi. Thank you all. Thank you all. I might not be able to mention everyone's name, but I see you. Thank you for your support. Please share. Please tell people about this platform and let everyone know that, there's knowledge that is going out here that can help them, that can help their marriage, that can help their relationship. Next month, we are going to do a recap because, like I told you, domestic abuse is the main cross of why we talk about conversations with the Love Crusader. However, there are a lot of packages coming on. We have topics about motherhood, fatherhood coming. I'm bringing back my book. For those of you who have not read my books, I'm bringing out some of my books for you to be able to get some e-copies and some hard copies if you would be interested. A lot is happening. A lot is coming on this conversation. So watch out. Don't miss the dial and don't miss any Sunday. If you blink, you lose. Thank you so much once again. Thank you to the Amazes. My love to your beautiful children. Thank you, everyone, and have a love-filled week. God bless you. I love you all. Bye.